in the future. But certainly not what I am doing and the stuff that I'm doing and achieve will live on long after I'm gone.
Let's say you're in the hospital bed and getting ready to die, and somebody walks in the room, and you have one copy of your book, and it's sitting right there on the table. And you're taking your last breath, and you're talking to this person, you say to them, I want you to read this book. As you're dying, think about this. That book that you just wrote, would it change their life forever? And if it's not changing their life forever, until you change the internal dialogue in your head, until you callous over the victim's mentality that the world is out to get you because of you are the only, you gotta change that shit, man. I get that mentality. I once had that mentality that no one understands what I'm going through. And if you keep that mentality, you're gonna stay in the same exact spot that you're in. I saw myself as the weakest human being on the planet. And I wanted to transform that into the hardest man God ever created. Your mind takes control of you. You have to say, I run this life. You have to be your best self when you're the least motivated. You have to have these different things in your mind on where you want to go. And know that motivation is not going to get you there. One thing that changes your DNA is discipline. If you can get through to doing things that you hate to do, on the other side is greatness. You have to be willing to fail 100 times to succeed once. If you're not willing to do that, man, you're not going to even get a fraction of what you're looking for. There's a new bar that you must always set in your life. And once you become complacent, and you become civilized, you arrived, you're no good for anybody. Everybody's journey is different. Everybody's journey is different. I was on a journey to see who David Goggins was. And that journey took me in some of the hardest. You face it every day. You face it every single day of your life. When you say, okay, like if you're fat and you lose weight, it's patience. It's patience in this fact of accepting who you are right now. I'm fat. I like myself. Accepting the fact that if you lose 3 or 4 pounds, that's a huge accomplishment. I started realizing, man, just by going to war with myself every day and putting these challenges and these goals and these obstacles, these insurmountable obstacles. So what about losing 106 pounds? Me losing 5 pounds was an accomplishment. Me losing 10 pounds and then 50 pounds. The more I did, the more I gained confidence. I was just working. I was just sacrificing. And then through that, all these different tools started coming up. But I would have never found these tools if I didn't put myself in a very uncomfortable place. We all look for toughness. We all want it, but we look for it in a comfortable environment. You will not find toughness in a comfortable environment. Those of you who are listening to this, whoever hear this, you will not find it. I will try to look for it everywhere. The only way you find it is to drown yourself in a position where you're just out of sorts. Where you can't swim and you're drowning. You're drowning. You're drowning in life. But you say, no, man, I want to figure out how to backstroke or something. When you quit, your mind says we're done. So it doesn't expand. There's no expansion when you quit. When you say, this sucks, I'm drowning, I'm miserable, I'm suffering, I'm broken, but I'm not going anywhere. What happens to your mind is it does this. It says, he's not leaving, so we gotta expand. We gotta grow. We gotta figure this thing out. We're only 1% away from true greatness. There's a big difference between 99% and 100. I always thought that I was giving 100%. I wasn't. But I was only 1% from making that money, from being where I want to be, from having everything in life I've ever dreamed of. But it's that 1% that we sleep on. It's that 1% that we wake up in that morning and like, you know what? Not today. Maybe tomorrow. Well, guess what? That's why it's so easy to be great nowadays, because most motherfuckers are weak. And if all you do is when you are trying to get that motherfucker's news button on life, not in the morning, on life, just know this, all the fuck it takes is thinking about all those weak motherfuckers who are taking a day off. And trust me, you will come up real fast. Like I say, it's easy to be great nowadays, because motherfuckers are just weak, very soft. Well, I believe that it's to build belief. Belief is like, just on Google, we all live in this whole social media world that I really hate. I absolutely hate it. Why you can't find purpose? Because in your head, there's a bunch of noise. When I was younger growing up, they called me this, they called me that. I had all that noise in there. The second I put on the kind of quote unquote Bose headphones, and silence the noise, I listen to my internal voice. Half of us live our whole lives and never even listen to what the hell we want to do. Get off the podcast. Don't be on social media too much. Cut out all the noise. Get back to the mental lab. You don't know what you want to be because you haven't spent time, real time with yourself. Spend time with yourself. Trust me. And once you find that passion and that purpose, your goals, your purpose, everything will start lining up. And then you'll find the courage to start that journey. You have to believe that you are here on this earth for a reason. And if you don't believe that you're here for a reason, your life will seriously hurt. And I started looking at my life and all the shit I went through as God put me some guy